Did you hear the story about the woman who said she astral projected to catch her husband cheating? Well, this lady said she worked during the day, her husband worked at night. So all day at work, she was feeling good, feeling happy. And when she got home, she just started feeling really tired. So she kicked it with her husband for a little bit. But as he was getting ready to go for work, she was just looking at him and she told him, "I love you so much." And he looked at her and said, "I love you too." So he left for work and she went and got in the bed, got all cozy and went to sleep, and she got into a deep sleep. And before she knew it, she could feel her body rise up and she was floating and she was back in her childhood home. So she's looking around wondering, why am I even here? And she can feel her grandmother's presence because her grandmother raised her. And all of a sudden she heard her grandmother's voice say, "I love you so much." Before she could understand what she was hearing, she said she started to hear some giggling. And the giggling was a sound she heard before. It was her husband's ex. So she was looking around like, why would my husband's ex be in my house? And so she was looking around for her, but she didn't see anything. She could just feel her grandmother's presence coming on stronger. As she walked around the house, all of a sudden she heard her husband's voice too, laughing and giggling with her. And she heard the ex's voice saying, "You like it like that? You like it like that? That's what you want?" And she was steady looking for him, looking in different rooms. When she finally found a room where they were, she stood over there watching, and they couldn't see her. It was like she was some kind of spirit. She stood there as she watched his ex grind all up on her husband, rub up on his body, and then finally start taking off her clothes. She started stripping for him, and then she started making love to him right in front of the wife. And her grandmother was standing there saying, "I love you so much. I love you so much." And her grandmother hugged her. Of course, she woke up out of that dream like, what? Oh my gosh, I can't believe this. But she wanted to play it cool. So she decided to ask him about it. And she said, "When was the last time you saw your ex?" And he started stammering, what you talking about? Ain't nothing going on. Ain't none of that going on." But she knew in her heart a lot was going on. So she let the weekend go by. She didn't say anything to him at all. She went to work on Monday. And during that day, she started feeling weird. Like, okay, I need to go wash my car. Now, she had let her car go for about 2 weeks without washing it because it was raining. But she said it's about that time. So as soon as she got off work, she got in the car, went to the car wash. And as she was pulling in to go get her car washed, she just looked to her left and she saw a pizza parlor next door. While her husband's car was parked right there. She parked her car, got out, walked up to her husband's car, and he turned to look at her. And when he saw her, it looked like he seen a ghost because there was a girl sitting in his car. And immediately he looked at her and said, "Oh, that's my cousin." That wasn't his cousin. That was his ex. So the next day she was sitting at home fuming, upset, and she gets an inbox message from a woman. And she's like, "Look, I'm tired of playing the side piece. I've been with him for a long time. Give me your address because I need to serve him with papers for this paternity. He ain't no good. He ain't been no good to you, and he ain't gonna be no good to me. But he gonna pay that money because he's now the father of my child." Of course, she didn't give her the address. She just ignored it, and it drove the lady crazy. She started inboxing her, leaving messages from fake accounts on all her videos and all her social media, and she just ignored the girl. Like, "I ain't finna help you ruin this man. Look, I got my own plans." And she did. Now, before she married him, they hadn't been married long. She had bought a trailer for them to live in. She had paid it off fully, decorated it nice, and made it, a home for them. So she had a plan. And one day he went to work, and by the time he came home, that whole trailer home was moved to another location that he didn't know where it was. And that's how he knew she was ready for her divorce.